What's going on, man? It's Coach I, man. I'm here with the stat guy. We back at it again, man. It's the Fanatic on the Fanatic Sports Network where we talking college football all day, every day. That's right, man. Today we talking win totals. If you're new to the channel, man, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Hey, man, subscribe to the channel so we can bring you that content. You can help spread it to everybody else, man. But today, like I said, we're talking win totals, SEC East.
Yeah,
Let's get it.
the fanatic. Where we keep it 100, keep it real. That's the only way we know how to be. Talking that sports talk. You know what I'm saying? Straight out of South Carolina, upstate, A64. Yeah, the FANATTIC. The fanatic where we keep it OG. We talking sports, so I call what I
All right,
see.
man. That's right, man. We're here with the stat guy, man. What's going on, stat guy?
Hey, not much, man. They see the header. Talking win totals means football is just around the corner. Man, I cannot wait.
Listen, we're doing the countdown on social media. If you follow, man, you see the social media down below. My name is at Fanatic Sports, and then at Jeff the Stat Guy 1 on Twitter and Instagram, man. Listen, I've been doing the countdown, and what's crazy is I can't believe it's been like since I started. I started on day 98. I got I was a couple days late, but I'm already down to 75 today. As of today, we're recording this on June 19th, man. I'm like, guys, getting here before you know it, and I'm just ready to get at it, man. But hey, without further ado, man, let's explain to the people, man, what's going on. So for those that don't know how Vegas does their win totals for so you'll see, like, for instance, Appalachian State will have 7.5 win totals for Vegas. That means they get 1 point for a win, they get a half a point for a toss-up game, and then there's no points for a loss. We're going to do the SEC East, SEC West. We're going to do every conference, Power 5 conference, and hey, y'all can tell us what you think. So you ready to get in this thing, stat guy?
Hey, man, let's hop in.
All right, man. So we're going to start with the SEC East, and we're going to start with the Florida Gators, man. Florida Gators, man. Like, we're just going to go through the schedule. I'll tell you what I got. You tell you what you got, and we'll tally it up at the end. All right. So the first week one, they're at Utah. I got that as a loss.
Yeah, give me a loss too.
All right. You got week two, McNeese State. I got that as a win, of course.
Hey, man, as much as it'd be funny if they lost that game, I'll give them the win.
That's right. That's right. Now, week three, hey, come the Heat, man. They got Tennessee coming into the swamp. Listen, because of the quarterback issues down in Florida, I don't know what's going on with Graham Mertz or whoever they're going to have. I got Tennessee for the win right there, so I got Florida for a loss.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Joe Milton and the boys. Give me Florida for the loss.
All right, we on par. All right, so the week four is Charlotte. Give me the win there for Florida.
I'll give them the dub.
All right, and then week five they travel to Kentucky. This one right here has been Florida all the way for the most part, but Kentucky has, battled and won one here or two. And I'm going with a half right here. I think this is a toss-up.
Yeah, I kind of went back and forth, and I'm giving them the loss. I think the lack of quarterback play is just going to be too much against a Stoops defense.
Okay. All right, next week they got Vandy at home in the swamp. Now, Vandy did beat Florida last year. I don't think that's happening 2 years in a row, regardless of the quarterback situation. Plus, it's in the swamp. Never been there, but heard tales about how hard it is to play there. So I got Florida for the win against Vandy.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. They are not letting Vandy come in and win in the swamp.
All right. And then after Vandy, they take a travel to Cola Town, man, and take on the Gamecocks, man. It might be a night game. This has been a back and forth thing. So I got this as a toss-up. I'm giving Florida a half for this game.
Hey, man, listen here. They embarrassed us last year at the swamp. They got to come to Soda City. We getting some get back. Give me that big OL for them.
All right. Then they get a week off like they traditionally do every year before the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. I know they don't call it that, but us Dog fans and Florida fans still call it that. And they take on the Georgia Bulldogs, the reigning back-to-back national champions. And I got Florida with the loss.
Yeah, it's going to be a long ride back from Jacksonville. Give them the loss.
All right. Following that, they got Arkansas at the swamp. I got this as a half because I feel like Florida may have better athletes, but it starts with the quarterback play, and they do have KJ Jefferson going into like his, I don't know, 6th to 7th year, but he's a good player. So I got this as a half.
Yeah, if this was on the road, it'd probably be different, but it's at the swamp. I'll give them the half for it.
Cool. Following that up, we got week 11 at LSU. one of the places I consider the hardest place to play anytime you're playing 3:30 or later. I don't know about those noon snoozer kickoffs, but this is at LSU and it's probably going to be a night game. And I got LSU. I think LSU is just too talented. So this is a loss for Florida here.
Man, this has been a fun game in recent memory. A lot of crazy things have happened, but I think Death Valley is just going to be too much for them. I'm giving them the loss.
All right, and then they follow this up at Missouri. I got this as a half. This is also something that a lot of fans don't know. This since Missouri entered the SEC, they're kind of like 500 against Florida. So I got this as a half, and if they're not careful in Mizzou, we saw what happened to Georgia last year with the struggle win. So I got this as a half.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Give them a half for it.
All right, and then to end it all up, we got Florida State. Florida State at home. I think Florida State's just a better team. I know it's going to be a good game, but I got Florida State edging them out. I got a loss for Florida.
Man, it's rivalry week. It's in the swamp. I'm at least going to be nice and give them a half.
All right, so I'm ending Florida's schedule with 5 wins. What are you ending with?
I got them at 4.5.
All right, so tell us what VegasInsider.com says for the Florida Gators.
Vegas has them at 5.5.
5.5. We're kind of on par. You got them at 4.5. I got them at 5. It's kind of, right there on par. All right, man. Let's move on to the reigning national champions, the Georgia Bulldogs. I'm gonna save you some time and just let you know I got them at 11.5 with a half going to Tennessee. I think they are better than Tennessee. It's hard for teams to go 12-0, even though the Dogs did it last year. Only 3 teams have done that in the playoff era. So it is at Neyland. I'll give them a half there. I got the Dogs at 11.5.
I can't believe the Georgia fan ain't got them run the table. I'm giving them all 12.
All right. And what does Vegas say that Georgia's doing?
11.5.
11.5, because it's hard to say 12-0 at the beginning of the season. All right. Moving on, man. The next up is going to be Kentucky. Hey, man, like I say, if y'all liking the content, man, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? And then comment. Let us know if you agree with what we say or disagree with what we say, so we can, have a little debate back there down there in the comments. All right. So Kentucky, the first 4 I'm giving to Kentucky. It's Ball State, Eastern Kentucky, Akron, and at Vandy. I got Kentucky 4-0.
I'm right there with you. 4-0 for the Wildcats.
All right. And then they got a tricky one. This is Florida. I gave Florida the half here. I'm giving Kentucky a half here as well.
I give Kentucky the win here.
All right. And then Kentucky has to come to Athens. And I got this, of course, as a loss for Kentucky.
Yeah, give me the loss as well. Georgia's running the table.
All right. And then they follow that up with a tough game against Mizzou. Mizzou's coming to Lexington. And I got this as a half, man. I think these 2 teams could be in the mix for, second or third, depending on what's going on in the East.
I have Mizzou as a half here as well.
All right. And then they get a week off, and then they take on Tennessee. Kentucky and Tennessee do not like each other. I got this as a half, even though I think Tennessee may be the better team overall.
I'm going to give this one to Tennessee.
Okay. All right. At Mississippi State, I got this as a half.
I have it as a half as well. Anytime you go on the road in the SEC, it's tough.
All right. And then they play Alabama. I got this as a loss.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Bama's going to be something this year.
Yep. And then they got to travel to Willie B down in Coletown. I got this as a half.
Man, ain't no way. We got over the hurdle last year. They got to come to the Rockets Willie B. You already know what it is. It's a loss.
All right. And then they finish up, of course, with their traditional rival at Louisville. I think Louisville is going to be a little bit improved. I got this as a half.
Yeah, it's a road game. Give me the half for them.
All right. So I'm finishing Kentucky with 7 wins. What do you have them as?
I have them at 6.5. And Vegas agrees with me, 6.5.
All right. We all right there together, man. Hey, we trucking along on the SEC East, man. All right. So Missouri starts with South Dakota and Middle Tennessee State. I got them both wins for Missouri.
I'm right there with you.
All right. Kansas State at home. I got this as a half because I just need to know what Kansas State's going to do at running back.
Yeah, this is kind of old school rivalry as well, back from the Big 12 days. So I gave them a half as well.
All right. And then they follow it up with Memphis. I got that as a half too, because Memphis always kind of sneaky good there.
I gave Mizzou the win.
I got you. At Vandy, I got Missouri all day.
I'm right there, Missouri.
All right. And then the next week is week 6, LSU at home. I think LSU is just going to have too much firepower for them. I got them as a straight up loss here.
Straight up loss as well.
All right. And then they follow that at Kentucky. Like I said, in the Kentucky one, I got this as a half for Mizzou.
And I did as well.
All right. And then, of course, your Carolina Gamecocks, I got this as a half as well. The Battle of the Columbias normally is flip-flop here and there.
Yeah, the two coaches don't like each other, but I gave them a loss.
All right. And then they get a week off, and then they get to travel to the doghouse to take that L to the Georgia Bulldogs in week 10.
Of course.
All right. So Tennessee to follow that up, I think Tennessee, even though it's in Missouri, may be a struggle, but I think Tennessee is going to win that one.
I'm taking the Vols.
All right. And then to finish it off, we got Florida, Missouri versus Florida, and then at Arkansas, I got both of those as a half.
I'm taking both of those as halves as well.
All right. So that finishes Missouri, and I got them with 6 wins. What do you have them as?
I had them at 5.5, and Vegas has them at 6.5.
Look at us hitting Vegas in stride almost. All right. Now for your South Carolina Gamecocks, just to let you folks know that's new to the channel, Stat Guy is an avid Gamecock fan, so I'm pretty sure our win totals are going to be vastly different. I'm pretty sure that he has the Vegas totals, and I'm almost positive I'm gonna be closer to the Vegas totals without a shadow of a doubt. So we're gonna start this thing off in Charlotte at a neutral site game versus Mac Brown and the Tar Heels. I got this as a toss-up because North Carolina always starts the year hot.
Yeah, but we have Spencer Rattler, who's the dark horse for the Heisman. Give him the dub.
Like they don't have Drake May. All right. I got y'all as a win at home versus Furman.
Likewise.
And then y'all travel to the reigning national champions to take an L on the road in Athens.
Hey, you're just lucky I'm not drinking tonight, and I gave you 12-0. We taking the loss.
All right. Hey, Carolina fans, get in the comments. Listen, I've seen some rational Carolina fans here in the offseason that say that same sentiment. So that's actually surprising for some of those in that fan base. So the next week, y'all play Mississippi State at home. I got y'all with a win over Mississippi State.
Right there with you, beating Mississippi State.
And then the game that I think a lot of people are looking forward to as opposed to the Dog versus Carolina, you got to go to Neyland and take on Rocky Top. I got this as a half. I think Tennessee top to bottom may be better than y'all, but y'all proved everybody wrong last year and ran out of fireworks. You scored so many points on them. So, but I think they're going to be looking for some get back.
Yeah, when I was looking at this game serious, we punched them in the mouth last year and they just weren't able to respond. And I think we just put the fear of God in them, and they're not ready for us to come up to Knoxville. So I'm giving South Carolina the win.
There it is. You get an off week, and then you have to play Florida. Like I said, it's been back and forth as of late. I got this as a half.
Hey, man, this game is in Willie B. And what did I tell you all last year? We don't lose coming off of bye weeks. Give me the dub.
There it is. Week 8 at Missouri, Battle of Columbias. We already talked about it. It's a half.
It's a dub.
All right. And then you go to Texas A&M, who you won last year. So since they entered the SEC, you are 1-8 against Texas A&M, but you did get the win last year. I got it as a half because of that. So I got you as a South Carolina half.
It's a winning streak, but I also have this as a half.
All right. And then the following 2 weeks, I got Jacksonville State Gamecocks and Vandy. I got those both as wins for South Carolina.
Both of them W's.
All right. And then you follow that up with Kentucky. I got that as a half, as we talked before.
I took it as a win.
And then the in-state rival that you finally beat got over the hump after 8 times in their home. So they come to Willie B, Clemson Tigers. Because of that, I think they have more talent, but I got this as a half.
Give me the dub. They got to come to Willie B. It's going to be a night game. It's going to be raucous.
All right, there it is. So I have South Carolina at 6.5 wins. What do you have?
10.5.
And what does Vegas say, my friend?
6.5.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
But hey, I will let people know we don't. If you choose to bet, you can bet. Don't Definitely don't take our word for it. But if you want to put the house on South Carolina, busting this 6.5 might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, that's right. We're doing this for entertainment purposes only, so don't come back to the stat guy and Coach I say, you told me to bet the house on South Carolina. It's your money. You do what you want to with it. We are just some podcasters. All right. We got Tennessee. I got, Virginia. I got Tennessee with the win.
Likewise.
I got Austin P. Got Tennessee with the win.
Likewise.
At Florida, I got Tennessee with the win.
Likewise.
UTSA, I think will be the best of the competition in the first 4 games because of Frank Harris, the quarterback. But I got Tennessee with the win.
If nothing else, that is going to be an offensive shootout and at least make for some good TV. But the Vols are going to come out on top.
Facts. All right. Then I got South Carolina at home. They're trying to get some get back, as we talked about previously. That's a half.
I gave them the loss.
All right. And then they got an off week, and then they go to Texas A&M. I mean, they play Texas A&M at home week 7. I got this as a half. Bobby Petrino coming in at Texas A&M. If they can find some offense and Jimbo can get out the offensive room, maybe they can pull off the upset because Tennessee's looking forward to Bama.
I just think too much going on in that program. Give me the win for Tennessee.
All right. And like I just mentioned, they're at Bama. The following week, I think Bama really felt, even though it was a 1-point loss, I think it was embarrassing because of Tennessee storming the field and all that. Bama's got some questions at QB. I got this as a half.
Not going to Titletown with the half. Woo!
With the half.
Hey man, Nick Saban's gonna put a hurt on him. Give me the dub for Alabama.
All right, and then we talked about the next week previously, man. At Kentucky, I got this as a half. I think Stoops has got a lot of people returning. You know how he is when he get those 3-year starters in there.
And I gave Tennessee the win.
All right, you got UConn. I got Tennessee with the win.
Likewise.
At Missouri, I got Tennessee with the win.
Likewise.
Then they come to Athens trying to get some retribution. I got it as a half. I mean, we go to them. Georgia goes to Tennessee. I got this as a half, but I think the Dogs will come out on top.
I gave Georgia the straight win for this. I said they were going 12-0. I just think that by this point Tennessee could have 2 or 3 losses and their season's over.
There it is. And then annual rivalry against Vandy, and Vandy has somehow mustered up a couple of wins here in the last 5 or 6 years. But I do have this as an outright win for Tennessee.
I took Tennessee as well.
All right. So I finished with Tennessee with 9.5 wins. What did you have them at?
I gave them 9.
All right. And what did Vegas say?
9.5.
Ooh, I might need to change professions. So finally, we'll finish this thing off with Vandy. I'll just go ahead and spoil it for you. I don't have Vandy winning any or half or toss up any SEC games. I got them losing all of them.
I was the same way.
All right. So the first 4 games, they play Hawaii, Alabama A&M, at Wake Forest, and UNLV. I got them with wins over Hawaii, Alabama A&M, and UNLV, and a toss up at Wake Forest.
Is that Hawaii game on the mainland, or are they in Hawaii this year?
No, I think there it said versus Hawaii, so I'm assuming that means that they're at Vandy.
Yeah,
that's why I gave them the win, because that's a long way to travel for either team, and the road team, I just don't think it.
I'm gonna give them 3.5. I'm gonna give them a half against Wake Forest.
Okay, and because of those 4 games, I gave them 3.5 at for the season total. What did you have them at? 3.5.
3.5. And you
then
know what Vegas had them at? 3.5.
3.5. There it is, man. The SEC East win totals, man. Let us know what you think. Who's too high? Who's too low? Who did Vegas get wrong? Who did I get wrong? Or who the stat guy get wrong? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, man, so we can help this get this channel out to more people. What else you got on this stat guy before we get up out of here?
I was gonna just let them know, if y'all get down in them comments on them South Carolina Gamecocks, I'm with all the smoke and I got all the time, so I'll be there.
There it is, man. For the stat guy, Coach I, man, it's Fat Addict on the Fat Addict Sports Network. We got it.
We got it jumping like it's that valley. I call my dogs out the pound, let's go eat. Turn on the Fan Addict, let's have a debate. Who really hold down the Southeast from state to state? What team hungry gonna eat everything up off they plate?